Hey my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. Thank you very much for clicking on this video and thank you very much for taking time out to watch me do what I do. And for those that are new here, welcome to the channel. I hope you won't be a stranger. Make sure you subscribe and thumbs up this video as well, because we're gonna work today, okay? So today it's not a morning, but it is a get ready with me. Well, it's kind of like me recreating a birthday look, because it was my birthday last month and I didn't really post anything. I mean, like, yay, it's my birthday, wow. I'm going to recreate a birthday look that I didn't record, and yeah, just let me know what you think about it. And obviously with what I've got now, I kind of want to, you know, I just want to do a cute look for you guys, and it's going to be pink inspired, I'm not gonna lie. Obviously you would have seen the thumbnail by now, unless I wanted to do like a fresh face kind of thumbnail, click. Anyway, as I said, we are going to recreate a look. So if you'd like to follow this tutorial, grab your primers, grab your foundations and your concealers and powders, and let's beat the face. Okay, so for primer, what are we doing for primer today? Let's check our collection. There's a lot of noise outside, by the way, so just in case you're hearing the ratchetness that is this area now, I'm going to go into the Plastic Boy X Revolution primer. And I'm just going to mix. Oh, I used my hand, damn. I didn't want to, but we're here and it's fine. So I'm going to use the liquid e.l.f. Putty Primer. I'm still on the fence with this primer right here because it's not as long lasting as I thought it would be, being that it's liquid. Or am I like just reading the situation wrong? I don't know. I've tried it a couple times in regards to using it for an all-day wear situation, and it just wasn't. And I really just want it to blur this area here, because that's where I have large pores, with the most large pores, and just at the top of my lip as well. So let's see what it does today. So for foundation, this is the YSL All Hours foundation, and I have the shade DC9, and I've been using this foundation. I did buy this foundation because it was on sale on Look Fantastic, and it is a nice foundation. It wears well. It's a nice foundation, so I would recommend it if you guys were thinking of maybe considering getting it. And the shade is not too bad. Yes, on camera it does look slightly light. When you swatch, you don't really get the shade until you blend it in. I'm literally just gonna move this around. And there's always a hair. So yeah, this blends out really well. I'm just going to spread this around. I feel like it's darker than what you guys are seeing on camera. Like, do you see the finish? You see, even with this little kabuki brush thing, the way it's just blended out, the finish, it's not hard to blend out, you know? And obviously you would have seen from my last video about blending your foundations. You just need to make sure that it's blended. It's giving the coverage that you want. So if you need to add any more coverage, this is the time now to do it, because now we want it to settle onto the skin and give us the seamlessness that we're seeing right now. I mean, obviously it's not blending in with anything else, but it's just really nice. And I don't think I need to go into any more. I would say almost 2 pumps that I pumped out, right? Because I didn't do a full pump when I was pressing it out. My dark parts are normally here. You could just about, this is just a shadow, by the way, for my cheeks, right? But you could barely see any like dark parts, if that makes sense. Okay, so the base is basing, but you can see that it's a bit darker than even the foundations that I've been using recently. So it is a good shade. The way this foundation is sitting right now, it's lightweight. It's really lightweight. So for concealer, I'm using this MAC Studio Fix Everywhere All Over Face pen. I'm using the shade NW47. That's a full pump. Let me spread that first, because a little goes a long way. A little bit more. I might go into a brightening concealer, but it depends. and this oxidizes anyway, so I might just have to go into a brighter concealer. I'm just using my concealer brush to spread. I'm just going to do a little bit of structural work. As per usual, Morphe E8. Just going to blend out the concealer. That concealer, foundation, whatever it is, all over face pen. And the way it's sitting, it's stunning. I know. I'm going to use a bit of Kevin Kwan SX13. Just going to put that in the center here. It's not necessarily brighter than the concealer that we've just used, but the coverage, the way it sits, it being a cream concealer, and I'm just trying to go in with as little as possible. And this concealer, this formulation is different from this formulation, so this is kind of like the most recent version of the concealer, and this is like the old school, but yeah, the old school version, or the original. I don't know if it's the original, but the one that I have, that I know that they were selling before they changed it to this one. You get 18 grams in this and you get 10 grams in this, and now this is even more expensive than this one, so I don't know. So I'm maybe just going to put a bit of this SX11. Sorry, I forgot to mention the shade in this one is SX11, so you can see it's significantly lighter than SX13, and I barely use this one. So I'm just using a smaller concealer brush so I can just control and manage where this concealer is going. So we're just going to go into our foundation brush and just continue that blend so that it becomes really seamless. Okay. So now for setting, I'm going to go into one size. I would go into Laura Mercier, but one size is that B right now. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm doing it. I've done it. I took it off. I had to. It was really getting my nerves, not having to get the stuff out. When I finish, I'll put it back on top. Ooh, you see? Like, that's what I'm talking about. And then when I'm done, I'll put that thing back on it. I don't want to use a puff, only because of the next product we're going to go into, okay? I'm going to saturate my brush, right? As you can see. And then I'm going to set with a brush, because I don't want it to be too heavy, because I'm scared of what I'm going to use next, if it might not work properly. Patrick has got me gagged. It's almost like saying Laura who? Mercier? Laura, who's that chick? Because the way this powder is setting up my face right now, no one can tell me nothing. That's the confidence it's giving me. It's just too good. Now we're gonna go into, that's what we're doing today. Now you see the reason why I didn't want to go in with a puff, because I think it would have just added on too much of that powder. Brush nicely dispersed it on the face. Does that make sense? So now we're gonna go into Cherry Blossom Cake. I don't know if you guys can see it because it's very pale pink. It's gonna go into the hand. I'm saying, just put it in my hand, just coating the puff even a bit more. It's almost like, are we warming it up? I think we need to warm it up, because I'm scared. I've used powder, pressed powder, but as far as the loose, I haven't really actually created a look in regards to using Cherry Blossom Cake from Huda Beauty. But I just know it's gonna give me smoothness, like out the gate. But it's, how will it set is the question. The birthday look that I did, right, I use normal powders, okay? You could just never be too sure, especially if you haven't tried it properly and maybe you want to take pictures, how it's gonna look, you know? And with this, you don't want to go too ham. Jesus Christ, I've not gone too far. As you can see, I'm just trying to blend, because it's like I put too much, but I'm liking the way it's looking, because it's almost, it's there, it's pink. Because you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go into the pressed one, just to kind of like focus it here, because I don't know how I would feel setting my concealer straight with this powder. I should try it. I'm only going to use this under the eye. I'm not going to use this anywhere else. This is just under eye. I'm going to put on my nose because everywhere else is bright. But you get the gist though. Or maybe I should. Let me just do it. Whatever's left on the puff, I'm going to put on the rest of my face, but center. So I'm going to use a powder that I'm actually used to, which is from H&B Cosmetics. I'm using it on the Cherry Blossom to kind of reinforce that pink. And I don't want to go too hard because this is very pigmented. I want to say this is more pink than the Cherry Blossom cake. So if you guys are wondering, this is very pink compared to Cherry Blossom. Very pink. Whoa. Okay. And I feel that it's a little bit more drying than this gives you a lovely like airbrush filter, but I feel like Cherry Blossom is a bit on the smoother, lighter side. Just going into a brush that hasn't got any other products on it, just so I can manage this area here. So now I'm going to go into bronzer, starting off with Charlotte Tilbury as we normally do. Deep 4. The way the bronzer comes off, like it shows. Wow. So I'm going to go into the wrist of the face. I'm not going to mix it in with the pink, but I'm just going to put it here because we're going to go into blush. Okay, so just stamping it on. So I'm going to go into Juvia's Place Volume 3 and we're going to go into this lovely pink colour. Okay, so we're just going to, let's start at the top. Oh, this face is eaten already. I can see it now. Because of the pink powder we've used, you can just go underneath and just feather it in even more because it's like a cohesiveness of pinks. You know, it's a blendation of the pinks. So you see how this place is kind of having a nice, you know, harmony of pinks. Yeah, it's so cute. So this is the base right now. I love it. Oh, it's eating. So now for eyeshadow, I'm just gonna do like a pink inspired eye, a soft pink eye. So I'm priming my lids with Too Faced Mocha, Too Faced concealer in the shade Mocha, and I'm using P. Louise Ruby Base 02. So I've gone into my gallery of eyeshadow palettes and I've picked up a palette. I may have to support you with other palettes, I'm not quite sure yet, but I have reviewed this palette. I'll link up in the cards up above. But it's the Morphe Big Pimpin', the 35X Big Pimpin' palette. This came out, I want to say a year and a half ago. I may be wrong, but anyway, I've done a review. Go check it out because I know it went last year. Or was it last year? I have done a pink look with this, and it has a nice blush pink and blush pinks in here, which are these two shades here, and they are called Grab Attention and Already. So those are the kind of colors I want to use. I want to use a brown with a little bit of a dark accent to kind of bring the look together because I don't want it just to be pink. So I'm going to go into the shade Going Somewhere and mix it in with Beauty Secret as well because it is a little bit dark and I don't want to go too dark too soon. So we're just going to use those two, and you see what I mean? It's just giving us a nice hue already. So this is our transition. I'm going to go into a not so dark brown. So I'm going to mix Places to Woe and Vanity Hour to try and give us a medium tone brown. So I don't want to go in too heavy yet. I'm just going to concentrate it on the outer area here, the outer V, into the crease. But you see, just giving us a little bit of depth already. I am back with that blend, and what I've done as well is I've kind of like elongated it. So I've kind of blended it up this way so that it kind of gives like an extended look. For a little bit more depth here, I'm going to go into a darker shade, and I'm going to go into Smoke Show. It's deeper, it's cooler. Give us just that extra little depth. I'm using a smaller brush, so I don't want it to go too far, and whatever's left I'll just bring so that it cuts into my actual crease. Swirl it. It's a little fluffy brush, so it should disperse that product very well, and then just wing it out just ever so slightly. I mean, it's just a little things, okay? And as I said, I want to go into already, and it has like shimmer particles. So what I'm going to do is let me mix it with this one first, and then start on the actual. Ooh, she pink. And then this is almost like the eye look I did with this eyeshadow palette when I actually reviewed it. I think the second time. I think is it the second time or the first time? Yeah. I'm just grabbing that already one, and I'm going to bring it into the inner corner, and I don't want to do anything here that would kind of like bring too much definition, and just bring that pink in. Okay, so I'm going to go into a nude just to brighten up this pink, and I'm going to go into Power On just a little bit using that same brush and just packing it in this inner corner. So me packing that light color there will allow us to brighten that pink, and just bring it across the lid, so it's kind of made it a bit brighter. Okay, that's done. I'm gonna do a short wing, so I'm gonna go into that the darker shade, which is Smoky Show, and just bring it a little bit in here. I'm just trying to bring it to as close to the lash line as possible, and then that's it. Okay, and I'm not going to touch the bottom, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and put on lashes, and we can go into the lips, and we're literally like just done, and then we'll see what we need to reinforce, and that should be it. I'll see you guys on the other side. So I am back and lashes are on. I just love the softness of like the eyes. It's not too harsh, and yeah, it's looking, I really like it. Anyway, let's get into lips because I'm gonna be here for ages. Okay, for the lips, I'm gonna go into the pencil from Morphe in the shade Richie. It is a bit dark, so I'm gonna go into House Labs. I mean, I've done this combo before, and I just use that to blend out the richer color to kind of give like a nice brown out of like line the situation. So I'm gonna go into, I was gonna use a Lady, but I'm gonna go into Chick from Juvia's Place, and this is gonna be our pink base shade. And then I'm gonna go into Hot Chocolate from Fenty, and this is gonna be a liner shade. It's cute, right? Oh, the next gloss I'm going to use is from NYX Butter Gloss, and this is in Sugar High, so it's kind of like a pink. Oh, it's so nice. And just to kind of like mull everything all over, bring everything together, I'm going to go into Oyster Girl from MAC. I had that just to line up. Okay, I'm just putting hair behind the ears because we're going to set the face. I haven't set the face yet. I'm just going to go into Morphe. I'm just going to set the face. I just allow that to dry. I don't have a pink highlighter, which is a shame. I'm just going to try a little something something. Okay. Oh, not too much. Just here. Just blend, please. Okay, I'm going to show you once I'm done what I'm using. Oh. It's the closest thing I could pick up. I mean, it's all the same thing, you know, at the end of the day. Okay, so I went into the Pat McGrath Rose Decadence palette. I think the shade I used is called Pink Champagne, which is this one here. So it is like a shimmer, but it's a rosy gold shimmer, which is stunning. it's stunning. It's a very soft pink moment. The base is not like super bright. I didn't even contour, by the way. I didn't want it to be too structured because I wanted to have a soft moment. So I can actually confirm and approve, right, that Cherry Blossom Cake is dark skin friendly, as well as the H&B Cosmetics pink powder. The Silky Smooth pressed powder is also dark skin friendly because, okay, so we're gonna talk. Obviously, I used a different setting powder for my under eye at first, and I think for me it was the best way to go. I will try and do just concealer and that Cherry Blossom by itself, so that it's just not so intimidating. And obviously for people who are kind of like curious, I want to know whether or not it's a shade that they can actually invest in and like use as a, obviously if you're just a shade to me, it is a shade that you can use, because if you go in lightly with a loose setting powder, it could actually be translucent, but I wouldn't actually recommend that because it might brighten the Cherry Blossom. So when I went in with my normal setting powder, I just obviously dusted it on with a brush rather than using a velour puff, and then I went into the Cherry Blossom, and then I went to the H&B pink pressed powder. I wouldn't use the two. I only use the two because I just wanted to see how they will work together. I have used the pressed powder by itself. Obviously I've done a review and I'll link up the cards up above. The Cherry Blossom, I feel like, is a lighter, soft like pink, whereas the H&B Cosmetics is a richer, is the pink is there, highly pigmented pink. So yeah, so I would highly recommend both of them for anyone who is of my melanated level, okay, my level of melanation, is that even a word? So my lovelies, we're now at the end of the video, and I just went into bottom mascara because I forgot to do it earlier, but I'm in love with this look. 10 out of 10. I'm sorry, last year I did kind of like a bronzy situation for my birthday look, but today I'm giving you soft pink, okay? I have creased just a little bit. I mean, I have ordered, guys, so it's inevitable sometimes. And also I gave you guys a kind of like review issues today, like, or a pink off between Huda Beauty's Cherry Blossom Cake and H&B Cosmetics pink pressed powder. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. Are you going to consider getting the two or getting one of them? Let me know in the comment section below. And again, if you're new here, I'm so happy that you came by. Please join the family because we do bits over here, okay? We do bits. So yeah, I'm gonna love you and leave you and go about my evening. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Toodles. It's cute. It's cute. It's too cute.